Hey, you want it? I got it. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Alright, let's talk about it. Alright, Women's Evolution. I've heard, rumors that there's going to be a second one. Not sure when they plan on doing it. It could be this summer after Summer Slam, maybe the early fall. I know it's been talked about, but I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be. The last evolution that they had was back in 2018, which was good. They had the prior wrestlers that were actually, every day that you see, like Becky Lynch, Naomi, Charlotte Flair. They had all of them on there, but then at the evolution, they did bring some of the legends in, like Sable, Michelle McCool, you know, and what's good, Tiffany Stratton was a part. Tiff Stratus was a part of it. Ooh, Lord, let me get my tongue out of the way. But anyway, so I'm thinking that it one's coming pretty soon. Now, this is what I did. I did a card myself, and these could be the matches that could actually elevate the women's division, I think. You know, but like I said, leave a comment. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Talk to me, and then at the same time, let me know um, where you're commenting from. Okay, the first match that I have, well, it's not in order. I mean, not as it would show on a card, but these are just matches I have lined up. So I have Bailey and Becky Lynch. And I put this match only because of, Becky Lynch attacking Bailey, letting her know that she attacked her, and just keep that storyline going. I think that would be a good match, and it could be in a match called the Last Woman Standing match, which I think would be a pretty good match. Because Becky and Bailey, they have history, good and bad, so it would be it would be a great match, I think. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, that would be a tremendous match also. Because every time that, Naomi would show up to do something, Jade Cargill would get the best of her, or Jade Cargill would come and just destroy Naomi, or Naomi would come and destroy um, Jade. So I think that match would be a good match, like Hell in a Cell type match. The first women's Hell in a Cell match was back in 2016 with Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. And it was for the women's title. At the time, Sasha Banks was the champion, and Charlotte Flair won that match. If you want to go back and look at that Hell in a Cell, it was in 2016. It was the first women's ever Hell in a Cell match, and it was a great one. It was a great one. So I would say, go back and look at it, check it out, and see. I'm sure most everybody have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, but go back and check it out. It was great. Actually, the whole pay per view on that was pretty good. And then we would have, Tiffany Stratton, defending the title if she's the champion at that time, against Rhea Ripley, which would be another great match. You know, uh, I'm just putting things together just to see how they would be and stuff. Just this type of card. Stephanie Valkyra against Kalani Jordan. That would be a great match also because Kalani, she was the first North American champion, and she's been pretty strong in NXT. And Stephanie, as she's been there, she's been pretty strong herself. She's really been putting on a clinic there. And these women are ready to join, the SmackDown brand and the Raw brand. So let's see. That would be a good match. As far as that NXT title is concerned. And then on the women's tag team title, I would have Julia and Roxanne Perez, versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan is back from doing her film. That would be a good match. Also, you'd have more or less like two heel teams going together, but I think that would be great because then they can have nothing but a good, dirty fallout fight and stuff. Um, that would be good. And I would think that, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez would, retain that title, but then again, it could go Julia and Roxanne, so, but I mean, this is just something I'm just throwing together. Like I said, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Um, then I would have Io Sky going against Bianca Belair, for the Raw Women's title, because the fact is that Bianca Belair never got that shot because she did win, the Elimination Chamber, and then that stuff with Rhea Ripley just made it all just crazy. So Bianca Belair never really got her shot at Io, and I think that would be a real, real, real good match. Um, I would say out of that, I would make, Bianca probably a three-time champion after that match and stuff, only because of what's going on with Jay Cargill and Naomi. And it could be Bianca and Naomi or Bianca and Jade. Either way, it would be a great match, if that happens. And then for the women's U.S. title match, which I think is probably Zelina Vega. I was saying Zelina Vega because of the fact that her and Chelsea Green have been going at it, and then these ridiculous matches with Zelina Vega with her little tiny self going up against Piper Nevins, which made zero sense and stuff. But then Zelina did get the win over Chelsea Green, but Zelina is not really a strong person to carry that title. She's not getting no pop when they say her name. Her music, her intro music is not good. They need to change it. They need to change her in the direction of her if they want that U.S. title to be a good title. And then I have Charlotte Flair or Alexa Bliss going after that title, against Zelina Vega. It'd be Charlotte or Alexa versus Zelina Vega for the women's U.S. title, which would be a good one. And then I got Lyra Valkyria versus Michin, which would be good because Lyra, I'm telling you, she is this lady is so good. Lyra is such a good athlete in the ring. I seen it when she was in NXT, but she is that match that she had with Becky Lynch was probably one of the better women matches I've seen in a while, and that was pretty good. So I'm figuring like Michin, maybe B-Fab or something like that would give Lyra Valkyria a good, would give her a good match to show their talents, against another lady that's real good in the ring as far as that's concerned. And then Lyra, retains. I think Lyra's going to be the women's IC champion for a little bit, because I think they're building her. They just have to build the U.S. title and the IC title, and let the crowd, give them something to react to for as far as that mid card, titles, thing going on and stuff. And I think in the women's division they can do that with an evolution. I really believe they can raise, those titles up, you know, and make them mean something again, or make them mean something because these are the first titles that they've had for the women, U.S. title, and which was with Chelsea Green, which she was okay, but she wasn't that great. And the Selena Vega right now, she's just not carrying it like I thought she would and stuff. But the IC champion with Lyra Valkyria, and she's the first champion for that belt, and she's doing a pretty decent, good job with that. But she's doing real good with that belt. And then we would have Sol Ruka versus Zarya. Now I know Sol Ruka and Zarya, they're tag team right now and stuff, but I keep seeing Zarya looking at that title and everything, and that's the women's North American title. You know, Kalani Jordan, she was the first one that had the title, and then she lost to Fallon Henley, and then Fallon Henley lost it to Sol Ruka. And the NXT women's division is actually looking pretty good. You know, a lot of women in that division are actually ready to move up, you know, to the Raw SmackDown brand. I mean, to the Raw SmackDown brand. Yes. So I would say, you know, so Ruka and Zarya, that would be a good match. And then throw in a 30 women over the top, you know, battle royal. That would be great for the women, you know, and top it off like that. Not sure if that battle royal would be the last or in the middle or at the beginning and stuff, but that would be the lineup. That would be the card. It would be evolution, and I think it would be a great thing. You know, please, like I said, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You know, tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Let me know something. Okay? All right. God bless you. Deuces. And I thank you for watching my video. See you on the next one.